Planet Zoo has been rated E10 Plus by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It is generally suitable for people aged 10 years and up. From the turreted castle and Main Street to Monte Cristo Island and Kukwana Land, Bartholomew Zenon's Zenon Land is protected by the Night Sheriff. Day and night, he is burdened by a witch's curse to be aware of all that live and play within the massive fantasy theme park. Now an attack on the park by a monster hunter who knows far too much threatens everything, guests, staff, and fellow supernaturals taking refuge in the park. The Night Sheriff must scramble to uncover not only the source of the threat, but secrets of the park of which even he was not aware. If he doesn't, he may be doomed. The park may be doomed. Even the world may be doomed. And that's a lot of doom. Get your copy at Amazon.com today. Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Sequoia Park Zoo. How are you guys doing? My name's Jack. If you've never been here before, I'm doing pretty good myself. So in the first session, what we did was we built this habitat for the red deer. As you can see, they're all doing well. We even have a couple of babies. They're cute little things, aren't they? They're making little garpy noises. They're pretty. I like baby animals. I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't like little animals, and I do like those. So, what we're doing today, excuse me please. I love how winter just goes away in a flash. That's so convenient. What we're going to do today is we are going to do some work sprucing up the red deer habitat. We're going to do some other things, switch out some stuff. I'm not making major changes to the habitat. I'm just, like I said, sprucing it up, making it a little more attractive. So, let's get right to it. This is the wall I chose. And, oh, the heck? Why is that? Do I still have that wall over here? I do? Good. Okay, I don't know why those are considered parts of the same thing, but that's just, you know, we're just going to take the easy route and get rid of this copy of it. Okay, is that it? There, like that. Okay, so that means this is its own entity, and I can come over here, and I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use this wall. These are the various walls that I've decided will be a part of the zoo. If you're building a themed zoo and you want to have a unified look, the best way to do it is to figure out early what you want it to look like. And you either build your own pieces, or else you find a blueprint on the workshop that fits your purposes. These I built. Okay. Although, if you were to check I'll be honest, if you were to check my workshop content, you'd find that I've built a lot of generic stuff for, I've built a lot of generic, like rock formations and such as that. And, you know, I get people saying, hey, I used your you know, I used that rock formation that you made for the grasslands African habitat. I think that's, you know, think it's great. And I'm like, hey, good. You know, hope you get a lot of use out of it. Because that's, you know, that's why I made it. Okay. Let's just connect it to the building. Now I want some of the stone to be visible, which is why. Let me turn on the light. There we go. It's getting dark. All right. Okay. Hopefully this will be in a straight line. If not, oh well. Okay, and let's Are we going to bring it out? Yeah, let's bring it out. Do I want to? I could just do this. All right. Here's the problem. This, at this point, is too long. However, I don't want to I don't want to stop the fence here. So what I want to do is something along the lines of this. Okay, we're gonna just trim it just a touch. So it's like that. So that's still, yeah, it's basically a straight line. So, and then we're going to play with barriers. First things first, let's move this over here. All right, and then back this off so we get a better view. Take this all the way over here, and then blam, null barriers for the win. Okay, now you always want to keep an eye when you're doing this kind of work. You always want to keep an eye on your alerts. So that you can take care of things, especially animal alerts, because believe me, it will not leave you alone in this game. You know, such and such animal needs care, and it needs it right freaking now. Or, you know, like in this case, animal research. So. All right. Now we are just going to make a copy of this, and we're going to take it all the way down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a right angle. No matter what you're doing, if you've got it on angle snap, 6 is a 90-degree angle. Okay. We're going to do the same exact thing here. I don't think I even have to do much with it. Just make a copy. I'm going to bring it forward. And then spin it for a right angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait, the other way around. The deer's curious. And pooping. They've been doing that a lot. These animals are poop machines. It's like they don't have any control over their basic functions. Now, this is one of the things that I knew would happen when I decided to make this a more northerly zoo, is that I knew that it would snow a lot. So a lot of the creatures that we're going to have, a lot of the animals that we're going to have in this zoo are capable of tolerating cold weather. Maybe not, they might not prefer it, but they tolerate it. And the ones that don't, we're going to, the ones that don't really tolerate it, we're going to build heaters. Give them heated shelters, things like that. Okay. All right, then we'll just whiz this down the other side, like so. Make sure it's basically in a straight line. Yeah. Let's see how well it works on this side. Anyway, you know, I was contemplating what animal I want to do next, and I was thinking about maybe timber wolves, but then I thought, you know what, no, this is too early in the game to do a really popular animal like timber wolves. Just too early in the game entirely. Okay, and let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because, you know, but they're really popular, but you want to save the popular creatures, the really popular creatures, not just, oh yeah, everybody loves this one. I'm talking about the ones that, that really draw crowds. You want to save those for later on in the zoo, so that when you build way the heck back out there somewhere, the crowds will be drawn to them. You put, I hate to put it this way, but you put relatively unpopular animals, or not unpopular, but you know what? You know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. Animals that are less popular, the ones that everybody goes, oh yeah, while we're coming to the zoo to see the tigers, and I guess while we're here, we can also see the antelope. Because, antelope are okay. I love some of the antelope species. But let's face it, nobody really comes to zoos to see antelope. People come to zoos to see gorillas. They come to zoos to see lions and cheetahs. Or in my case, penguins, because, God, I love big penguins. If you haven't seen that video that I have, the day I met penguins, please go watch it. It's literally my brother Nathan, who I occasionally talk about on the channel if you're a first timer. Hold on just a second. What does this say? Oh, a yearly profit of $2,000, which is pretty good considering that I haven't actually started merchandise yet. Okay, so this is the first step. Anyway, what was I talking about before? My brother Nathan, for my birthday last year, he said, so Jack, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I don't know. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go see the penguins. Because at the time, we were living in Orlando, Florida. And we had, okay, this one's a little too tall. I might need to make one to match. Anyway, what was I saying? We were living in Orlando, Florida at the time. And we had passes to go to SeaWorld. Okay, you know what? I am going to use this one. And SeaWorld has an exhibit called The Empire of the Penguins. And basically you go in and it's very cold. They let you know right up front that this building is kept at the temperatures it's kept for the benefit of the animals, and if you don't like it, you don't have to go in. Because the building interior is something like 35 degrees. I mean, you can, if you hang around the inside of this penguin habitat for too long without a jacket or a sweater, you will get frostbite, and they warn you of it. They really do. And I think that's just fine. That's the way the penguins want it. And, the entire, you go in, and it's big, and it's impressive, and, and there's penguins everywhere, and it's all, they're doing their little penguin-y thing. All right, let's bring that up just a touch. There you go. Now we're going to do a little surgery on this. So, but anyway, yeah, like I said, they're doing their penguin-y thing, and it's an amazing habitat. It really is. And hold on a second. What was I saying? Anyway, it's a really amazing thing. And you go in, and the penguins are doing their thing. The penguins are doing their penguin-y thing, as I put it, trying to be poetic. And it's loud, and it's cold, and it's smelly because, hey, these are penguins, and let's not lie, penguins are smelly, smelly animals. But I love them. They're my favorite animal of all time. They are the ones that when I go to a zoo that, if I go to a zoo and that zoo has penguins, I'm going because of the penguins. Sure, I love watching cheetahs, I love watching lions, I love watching bears. I'm pretty fond of watching the zebra run across the fake African plains in half a dozen zoos that you see them in. But if there's penguins, I'm going to see penguins. Make no mistake. So that's what I meant. My brother Nathan said, So Jack, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I said, well, I want to go see some penguins. And my thought was, we can use our passes to get into SeaWorld, and we'll go to the penguin habitat, and we'll get in line just like everybody else. And you know what? I forgot to start my timer, so I have no idea how long this is going. So, hey. This episode might be broken up into two if I go on for too long. So anyway, where was I? Penguins, right? So my plan was we go and see the penguins, and we go and we see the penguins. Maybe get some lunch because they've got a fantastic barbecue place at SeaWorld in Orlando. It's amazing barbecue. If you're ever down here and you decide to go to SeaWorld Orlando, make sure you avail yourself of the barbecue place, because damn, it's good. It really is. Okay, now I need a volunteer. I paused it, and I can't remember why. I wish the zoo had a toilet. Have I not made a toilet yet? Okay, that fence is a little high. That's fine. Apparently I haven't made a toilet yet. I'll have to do that. Okay. I'm going to take this down to here. Anyway, what was I talking about? So I said that, I want to go see some penguins. And, I expected we'd go in, we'd visit the penguin habitat, we'd get some lunch at the barbecue place, because damn if that isn't just great food. Okay, I see what's going on. Oh, for crying out loud. Alright. And, I'd take some pictures of the penguins, and we might catch a dolphin show, and it would just be, it would just be like the two of us having a little good time. And he said, all right, I'll see what I can do. So the day arrives, my birthday arrives. And along with my brother Nathan, my cousin Allison shows up. And Allison is unusual in that I am the oldest of our cousins. There's a lot of cousins. How many are there? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. There's 10 of us in that generation, including myself, right? So, I am the oldest of my generation, of the cousins, as we call them. And Allison is the youngest. And to give you an idea about what I mean by she's the youngest, I'm old enough to be her father. I could have easily been her father. I think she's 33 years younger than I am. Something like that. Well, hold on. I was 31. Yeah. So I'm 31 years older than she is. And she doesn't have a lot of close association with the rest of the family. For crying out loud, she barely, for the longest time, until she became an adult, she didn't have any association with me either, because what do what does a 46-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl have in common? Nothing. 16-year-old girl, yeah, that's the daughter of the 30-year-old man, or a 46-year-old man, right? But anyway, since she's reached her own glory as an adult, and she is a fantastic adult, she's very successful, she runs her own Twitch stream, and she has a YouTube channel and all that in her own right. In fact, she's one of the people who helped me get started on this channel. She decided to come along and see penguins with us. And I was like, yeah, that's great, come along. And she was like, yeah, when I was a kid, my parents didn't believe in going to the theme parks, which is a crime. You grow up in Orlando and you're not going to Disney, You're not going to SeaWorld? That's child abuse almost. I'm kidding, of course. That's not really child abuse, but you get the point, you know. So she'd never really been to SeaWorld. She'd never really been to Disney. And she asked if she could go along with us to see the penguins. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. We'll go see the penguins. And she loves otters. She absolutely adores otters. And you can see that in some of my zoos, because if I put otters down, I will always name one Allison. And that's because of her. But anyway, she was coming along. And so we go out there and we're wandering around and making our way over to the penguin encounter. And my brother Nathan says, no, we have to go over here and we have to be there by a certain time. And, you know, what's going on? And nobody's telling me anything, just we have to be here at a certain time. And so I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. And we get there and we're waiting. He checks us in with this park employee. And the next thing I know, I'm being escorted by one of their zookeepers into the penguin habitat. And by into, I don't mean it's a special VIP entrance where you get ahead of the line. I mean, there are penguins walking around me, sitting on my shoes. And I'm like, well, can we touch them? She's like, yeah, just be very gentle. Do it this way, like I show you. You know, and it was magical. I got hugged by a king penguin. And I know people are like, well, oh yeah, right, you really got hugged by a king penguin. Yes, I did. Because what happened was she was coming out. They were all very friendly and none of them were anxious around humans. They all were, they were ready to meet us and curious. And so Zeke, the king penguin, comes in, and the first thing she does is she vocalizes this loud that king penguins do. And then she kind of wandered around, accepting people patting her on the back and stroking her on the back, and just basically interacting. And she walks up to me and she kind of clicks at my my cane, because I walk with a cane when I'm not in a wheelchair. I walk with a cane, and she kind of clicks at the cane for a minute, and I start, I lean over and I start stroking her back. And penguin feathers are amazingly soft. They are very dense, but they're soft, and they were softer than I thought they would be. But that's all cool. You learn something new every day. Anyway, so as I'm stroking Zeke's back, she gets closer to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, obviously she's enjoying being patted, so she wants more of it, so she gets closer. And then she gets closer, and then she gets closer. And finally, she leans in and presses her shoulder and her neck against me. And I'm still patting her, but I look over to the young keeper, whose name I can't remember at this point. But anyway, she smiles at me. This keeper, she smiles at me and she goes, that is an affection behavior. That's what they do when they're with people that they like, or other birds that they like. That's how they express affection for one another. They lean on one another. And I'm like, so I'm getting hugged by a penguin right now. And the keeper went, yeah, you're getting hugged. Isn't that great? And I'm like, this is maybe one of the 3 or 4 greatest things ever to happen to me in my life. I am being hugged by a penguin. My single favorite zoo animal, and one of them is hugging me. How could that not be one of the greatest moments of my life. You know what, we're gonna turn the zoo population back on. So, and I gotta tell you, I might be of the older generation, but I've never been afraid to express my emotions. I burst out into tears. They were tears of joy. They were tears of happiness, because this majestic bird, I know people think that they're funny looking, but they're not. They are majestic. And in the water, they're godlike. So this majestic bird is hugging me, and I burst into tears like I was a baby. So this video that I've been talking about for the past, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes has photographs and video recordings of my encounter with penguins, the day I met penguins. And it was a very special day, and I don't think I'm ever going to have a day that special again. Because I'll be honest, I'm getting old, and I'm broken down and sick, and I'm not as capable as I used to be. But hey, I'm not dead yet, right? All right, let's step back and look. All right, the fence might still need to be lowered just a bit, but I'm not sure I want to, so we're gonna keep it that way. Okay, and one last thing that we're gonna do before we move on. That's this. Okay. It's a very small screen. And what we're going to do, I'm hoping that they've already added the red deer to their official. Yes, there we go. Okay, we're going to sync it into the actual, I want to sync it into the actual here. There. Okay. And we're just gonna move another copy of this over here and put it right there. Alright, and this is just a basic, you know, we're just replacing the standard information with this fancy pants one, that's all. Okay, let's bring this up just a touch. There we go. Then we'll copy it. A lot of people ask me, does it really matter if you're doing, if you do all these education stuff? And I'm like, oh, drastically, especially if you're in a franchise mode, because franchise mode requires you to make money. When you're playing sandbox, you can spend whatever you like. It don't matter. It doesn't, you know, be wasteful in sandbox mode. But you have to be careful. you have to be careful in franchise mode. Now I want to see if I have a donation box cover. I have several. All right. I know this is almost useless because, no, you know what? Let's make it brighter. Let's make it like that. It's almost useless coloring this thing because most of it's going to be hidden in the box. But what I want is that spinny circle. No, this, the other thing. The other thing, come on, give me the other thing. There we go. Like so. That looks pretty good. All right, so. Okay, this is going to be a little repetitive, guys. Sorry about this. All right. All right, now we just have to place the covers. So I've been thinking about what to do with the next habitat, you know, what animal to include and all that number. And I'm thinking I may do another deer, like the European fallow deer. Something like that. And just to keep the theme going of deers. Deer, deer. Plural of deer is deer. So yeah, just to keep the theme going, I was thinking about doing the fallow deer. Or maybe the ibex, or not the ibex, but the, the alpine ibex. Maybe the alpine ibex, maybe the Dall sheep. But I haven't yet decided completely. Alright, everything looks good with the animals. We have one alert. Research is finished. Good. The research is finished on that animal. Okay, guest numbers, adopt habitat species. This thing ended almost, you know, it's like you release any animals at all. And I was like, well, you know, I was playing the other day and I released a couple. Didn't those count? No, they don't. Alright. Animal talk. Okay, that's kind of Australian. Oh, I like this. Let's put this over here. We're going to put it right here. And we're going to use this, I think. I used this in the I used something similar to this in the last zoo, but all right. Okay, like I said, I'm not sure how long this took. I'm fairly sure it's a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode. We spruced up the red deer.